Hello, this is Veno speaking. I didn't really want to wait until the Lord of Hongyuan Honlu identity comes out, since we already have the whole kit already, and I thought while the interest is high at the moment, I'd express some of my thoughts and concerns about the identity's design. If you want an explanation on how the identity is supposed to work, you've come to the wrong place. But if you still would like to continue watching this video, here's the TLDR. Free skill freeze, 4 coin skill 2, generic buffs and debuffs, 7 different unique status effects, free skill freeze to Hachos on substitution, immortality, doesn't die from his battle pass ego, unique buffs based on who performed the combo on his skill 3-2, scale on offense and defense level buffs to Hachos, potentially positive rupture count with Mao Otis, huge speed with Hachos, random poise because why not, can command retreat to Hachos. Yeah. So this is pretty much the second coming of Blade Lineage Merceau, the original faction leader ID. And you know, back then, during Season 3, times were very much simpler. Merceau gives a couple of unique buffs to Blade Lineage members, has a really unique skill 3, gets pissed when a lot of his clansmen die, and that's pretty much it. But even back then, this was too much for some people. And now when you look at modern ID design, you can see that the power creep not only touches the power levels of identities, but the text as well. I'm pretty sure that there's a pretty sizable portion of the community that picks up the new shiniest identity, doesn't know what half of the text even means, and just watch a YouTuber tell them how to pilot the identity. For example, Knight of Despair Rodion has all of these intricate status effects and 2-page passives. But to play her optimally, you just press your counter once and she deals insane damage. And it's a common problem with a lot of gacha games where they bloat a lot of text, but there's actually not a lot of depth going on. Like, yeah, you have a trillion damage conditionals that I can follow, but the game is still P plus enter, so who cares? These over-designed IDs are just unwarranted because we don't have content that will actually require them. But okay, enough of me bashing the game. I'm here to talk about Konglu after all. As you have probably already noticed, this is not gonna be a kind review. Konglu, as a faction leader, already reinforces the precedent that was set by Manager Don. This precedent being that large portions of an ID's kit are locked behind other units. And that would be fine, considering that nobody really complained about Blade Lineage Merceau, and Manager Dawn turned out to be pretty self-reliant as long as she was in the Bleed team. However, this trend is somewhat exacerbated by Konglu, to the 11th degree. Yeah, this guy is really reliant on his Heisha goons to gain all of his buffs, and some of the features of his kit don't even work if he's not working with Heishos. But look at this. 11. PM expects us to have a full 12-member team of Heishos and Honlu. That's it. There are several glaring problems with this. First, team diversity. Rupture is already by far the strongest status effect. It used to be reined in by negative count identities, 15 by 3 conditionals, and smart synergies required for account upkeep. But with the advent of Mao Otis and Mao Ryoshu, as well as the death of Talisman Sinclair, the struggle for maintaining rupture count has ended. And with it, gone are the days of crafting optimal skill rotations and playing with your brain turned on. Now the most you can ask of a rupture player is remembering to press their defense skill to activate Strider. The status had become equal to sinking in its complexity, which is not a good sign, because sinking has inherent limitations on how it applies damage, while rupture is an on-hit, true damage mechanic. I'm really scared of meeting the game designers of Limbus in real life. The fact that they've made this decision clearly makes them psychopaths. And the fact that we're getting another 6 of these positive count monstrosities that are gonna get showered in buffs by the rich boy over there. Like, assuming that Season 7 is gonna be about burn, there's nothing the status effect can do to dethrone Rupture. It's just not happening at this point. Long live Emperor Honlu, I guess. My second problem is that this Rupture team is slowly approaching pay-to-win territory. Let's do a little counting exercise. Season 5 had 16 seasonal and non-seasonal identities, 18 if we count Kurokoma Heathcliff and Lantern Yisan, and we're not counting Walpurgis Nacht for this. So far, as of the recording of this video, there have been 8 identities released during Season 6. If we add on Kong Lu, the potential Yi Sang Wei identity, and one promised ID from the Warp Rerun event, there will be 11 identities who we know of. We still need 6 Heisho identities to fill out the roster, and we should be expecting around 18 identities this season. This means that we'll have these 6 upcoming Heisho IDs back to back. Even if we get a bigger amount of identities this season, comparable to like Season 2 I guess, that is still a lot of furries. Which means that Project Moon may be compelled to move some of the Heishos to Season 7. And this is gonna be extremely bad. The faction is gonna be split between 3 seasons. Think about it. Right now, in a couple of days, Kong Lu will come out. Mao Otis and Mao Ryoshu are currently unchartable because they're locked in the previous season. This means that only 3 of the 5 Heishos are available. Let's say there's a person who didn't get Mao Otis and Ryoshu for some reason. Maybe they came back to the game because of Magical Girl Dawn. And now they see a shiny new seasonal capstone ID which requires a full team of Heishos. They pull for Kong Lu because he looks cool, and then they take a look at the factional banner. But do they have lunacy left to spend on that? Well, Purgisnacht did leave a hole in their lunacy stash after all. No matter, they gotta get Kong Lu in a perfect team for him. And then they completely forget about the Arknights collab. They simply do not have enough lunacy to pull for anything. So I guess it's time to get up and find that credit card. They do have a bonus on that lunacy offer. Maybe some of the leftovers can be spent on future battle passes. It can honestly be my schizophrenia talking, but I think this sly dog is pulling something that all the gachas do. They subtly manipulating you into spending. And I guess I'm more than happy to fund Kim Ji-hoon's anime or theme park or whatever he's spending that money on, but this thought of manipulation is still leaving a sour taste in my mouth. Oh, and remember about Heishos being split among seasons? Imagine a new player pulling randomly and getting Kong Lu, but then not being able to shard any of the Heishos. Yeah, that would suck. And no, it is not fine if you just get him. He literally loses half of his kit if he's not playing with his goons. Oh, speaking of which, I might be misreading something in his kit, but I think my Kong Lu just wants to play only with his toys in the sandbox and not really share them. Or rather, what I'm implying with this terrible analogy is that his unique mechanics are kind of exclusive to him and his Heishos. Like, look at his clashable counter. Essentially what it does is use the counter, make one of the Heishos do an unopposed attack with its skill 1, and then retreat them while healing their HP. The thing that I'm not understanding is whether it applies only to Heishos or to any units. If it's the former, then this very fun and very creative mechanic is being just gatekept. The wording is a bit unclear, so I hope I'm wrong on this. What I am pretty sure about is that the Lord's Guard skill is definitely exclusive to the Heishos. Actually, this whole list of unique status effects just doesn't exist if there are no Heishos for Kong Lu to control. If this is not gimped, then I don't know what is. Like, what if you wanted to run the Rupture Capstone ID with the Sync or the Deviat? What if in the future there will be IDs that can run Rupture better than the Heishos? Kong Lu won't be able to participate in that team, he's gonna be stuck with the dogs on the leash. This is ultimately really restrictive team design. With Kong Lu, it's either all Heisho and he becomes God, or no Heisho and he's gonna be underwhelming and maybe be used for substituting. It would be really cool if he shared some of the buffs with the Jia family members, or even with just the regular guys. We are getting the H-Corp keyword with the update. And yeah, I know, Shishun will get some benefit from the passive. But that's honestly peanuts compared to what the furries are getting. And honestly, a personal opinion coming, but the Heishos are just boring in design. They don't exactly stand out from each other. Like, in isolation, they're pretty cool, they can aura farm, they have pretty cool sound effects. But as a team, they don't really look good. They just kind of blend in, besides maybe Faust a little. It's just gonna be 6 furry ninjas and Kong Lu, and that's it. Maybe it has a little bit of charm for some, but I don't know. Either way, whatever slander I throw at this guy, I'm 100% sure that he's gonna be really fun to play. The Heisho shuffling and the combo attacks and just the sheer awesomeness of the guy are gonna leave some positive imprint on me. But I shouldn't forget, behind all the hype moments and aura, that this is ultimately a product in a gacha game. Please don't pull for this man. Wait a week, shard him. It's not that hard. Anyway, yeah, that's all from me. Like, subscribe, comment, do whatever. I recently got monetized, so every bit of engagement really helps me. Hopefully I'll release an actually good video in the upcoming weeks. But until then, this is goodbye. Bye bye. Bye 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 bye. Yeah, bye bye bye.